Here's what the president has said about the deadly D.C. plane crash. On Wednesday night, a helicopter and passenger plane crashed mid-air outside of Ronald Reagan National Airport near the Potomac River. Officials said there are no survivors among the 67 people aboard the passenger plane and military helicopter. The newly appointed Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy claimed the crash was absolutely preventable, adding there was, quote, not a breakdown in communication between the military helicopter and the commercial plane. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the Army helicopter was being flown by, quote, a fairly experienced crew and was conducting, quote, a required annual night evaluation flight. Trump suggested, without proof, that people with, quote, severe intellectual disabilities had been hired as air traffic controllers under the Obama-Biden administrations. He said only, quote, naturally talented geniuses would be hired for the job under his new policies. He later said, quote, we don't know that necessarily the crash is even the controller's fault, end quote. When asked how he could have determined diversity hiring practices were to blame for the crash without evidence, Trump said, quote, because I have common sense and unfortunately a lot of people don't. Get live updates at Forbes.com.
Think about it. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. Crash happened out of Washington. The helicopter ran into a plane. President Trump is trying to blame this whole thing on the Biden and Obama administration of hiring people, you know what I'm saying, air traffic controllers, not experienced. But in the same sentence, you said you don't even know if it's their fault. So in the same sentence, because you have sense enough, that is right there, security evidence. How you even gonna quote that sentence? So obviously, you know, it can't happen at the same time. You know, something had to go wrong. It wasn't. Sure they was to blame. You're blaming them and don't even have physical evidence that it was their fault. But you make that quotation saying that because I have sense and they don't. That's real arrogant. So you know, these are the things you gotta expect for this president that's in the office right now. He's making vocal decisions, saying rules and doing all this other stuff. He's just making things to his own. He got his own agenda when it comes to this country and making rules and regulations. You know, if you think about it, you know what I'm saying? That was a vocal speech of just stupidity. If you think about it, why would you make that statement? This is the arrogance of this man, you know. This man don't care about nothing but covenant agenda for himself. I keep telling y'all, it's all about power for this man. You know, you can't put things together in your own mind if that's not what it is. If that's not the case, you can't make your own assumptions up in your mind. Oh, this is what happened because I got common sense and no one else have sense. Man, you sound ridiculous. So these are the kind of things you got to deal with. Well, you know, just hoping that everything pan out, you know what I'm saying, with this, man. For the one that lost like 67 passengers on board, people losing their lives, you know, that's never a good thing, you know. And my hat goes off to the families, you know what I'm saying, that have lost their loved ones on that plane. But, you know, this is what did be expected. This is who you're dealing with. The American people voted him in. They voted him in, and these are the kind of things you have to deal with when they come up. So I know everyone probably second guessing themselves for voting this man back in the office, but he's making crazy decisions. You know? So these are the kind of things you're dealing with. But you know, hey, what can we do? We just hope and pray that things come out straight and fine. Sometimes you gotta wrap your head around things that don't make no sense. But thanks for listening. God bless.